Let's get right into it. Number 8, the 4 words that were dreaded. Your stomach lowers when someone says, "We need to talk," and your mind starts racing with all the things you could have done wrong. Those 4 words are a psychological grenade. Your brain is a prediction machine that despises uncertainty. It's trying to figure out what will happen next to keep you safe. We need to chat, but it gives no information. Is it about money or your relationship that you mentioned last Tuesday? Your mind, anxious for answers, pulls the pieces together, and because of our tendency toward negativity, we assume the worst. In this scenario, your brain turns into a horror film director, and you are the star. We hardly ever need to speak, and then you won the lottery. It's more likely to be the start of challenging discussions, unpleasant news, or conflicts. The sentence alone sets off those unpleasant emotions, similar to Pavlov's dogs, but you worry at the first 4 words of the individual stating, "We need to talk." Your brain learns this pattern, instantly has all the power. They've planned ahead and know what's coming, so you're taken by surprise. With just 4 words, the speaker takes control of your emotions and puts you on the defensive, triggering your brain's alert system and making you susceptible as you wait for the other shoe to drop. Your amygdala. The fear center becomes active. Your body may initiate the fight-or-flight reaction, sweaty hands and elevated heart rate racing thoughts. Imagine your supervisor or a doctor saying this. The situation is different, but the worry is still there. This isn't limited to personal interactions. Jolt persists because it compels you to participate even if you don't want to, in reaction to a word that has been skillfully crafted to take away your tranquility. 7th place. The disappointment weapon is that instead of screaming, they sigh. "I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed." Instant gut punch. You forgot a birthday, missed a deadline, and broke a promise. Disappointment is a sneak attack that gets past defenses and hits you in the feelings, making you feel like you've not only done something wrong, but have personally let someone who trusted you down. It's worse than being yelled at. When someone is angry, you can respond defensively. It's a breach of trust and expectation. This is interpreted by your brain as a relationship failure. When a youngster hears this from a parent, they don't only feel bad, they feel like they've failed as a son or daughter, which suggests, "I expected better of you and you didn't meet that standard." They frequently convey unsaid signals like, "After all I've done, this is how you repay me." It's a potent method to make you feel accountable for their emotional suffering. It's an effective persuasion tool because the speaker is the victim, not of your action, but of your failure to live up to their expectations of you. This increases the likelihood that you will comply the next time to prevent that terrible feeling of disappointing them again. That seemingly kind statement is actually a carefully calibrated tool of guilt-shrouded, quiet mind control. The 6th lie is, "I'm fine," which you tell when you ask someone how they're feeling after a difficult day. Your intuition tells you that something is wrong, but your brain has just picked up a strong untruth. Isn't an update on status. It's a verbal smokescreen concealing feelings that aren't spoken, and frequently the reality is the reverse. Concealing example, after a fight, your partner may remark, "I'm fine." "I'm fine," said with a tightened jaw and avoided eye contact, is a passive-aggressive bomb. They're saying it with their hearts racing in the hopes that you'll understand how angry they are. They're testing you and asking you to look more closely before suggesting that you change your plans. Someone else responds, "Yeah, sure, that's fine." A ticking time bomb of repressed annoyance may be that fine. This sentence is known as the biggest lie ever made. Others claim that it naturally deflects our true feelings from certain others, forming a complicated web of show versus real that subtly influences interactions. Someone who constantly says fine when they're not teaches you to stop asking questions and is repressing their feelings. Those 2 words frequently conceal drama, and your brain may be telling you that they are anything but the 5th emotion-erasing term. You've been subjected to an emotional invalidation approach when someone says something that minimizes your feelings, phrases that sound innocent but are actually mind control tactics, ignoring your emotions as if someone were altering your emotional past. When you tell a friend you're unhappy, they say you're overreacting or that you're usually so sensitive, and all of a sudden you're the issue. "Am I crazy?" your brain asks you. For example, "Your feelings make me uncomfortable, so it's your fault." A tactful method of avoiding your emotions, or the traditional, "It wasn't that bad, you shared a tough experience," and they say your view is wrong. For example, they have a pain meter and yours didn't measure up, making you feel weak or that your suffering isn't real. They tell you to be optimistic that you're struggling and that everything happens for a reason. They claim that negative emotions are bothersome, yet it is poisonous to use cheerfulness to numb genuine sadness. Turning them off and ignoring your feelings after a hurtful comment I was just making was a classic move. They say something hurtful, "See you get hurt, and then blame your sense of humor. Sometimes they use darker phrases like, "That's not how it happened," or "You're remembering it wrong," which are a powerful way to control you and make you doubt your reality. When you are constantly told that your feelings are wrong, you might believe it. You feel confused and worried alone. Once you see these phrases, remind yourself that your emotional reality is real, even if someone else doesn't understand or tries to shut you down. Number 4, inbox mind games. You receive an email that appears impolite on the surface, but is actually a verbal punch that is seething with unsaid irritation. These are the equivalents of "I'm fine" in the workplace, but they're not meant to convey displeasure, assign blame, or put pressure on you all while acting professional. According to my most recent email, which seems to be a reference to our previous conversation, it actually means, "Were you not paying attention? I already told you this, so why make me repeat myself?" This is a polite way of calling someone incompetent. Shifting blame for forgetting next. Just a friendly reminder sounds like a helpful little nudge. But really, where is the champion of feigned friendliness? Friendly adds insincerity, and then saying "thank you" in advance sounds like "I appreciate your future help." But in reality it means, "I expect you to do this, no option to say no." By saying "thank you" before you agree, they create an obligation that makes refusal more difficult and difficult. At times, they are not being honest, a red flag for criticism. And lastly, "I hope it's okay with you." Checking to see if this is acceptable actually means I've already done something I should have gotten permission for, and they've probably made a decision that will affect you. This serves as a warning that even seemingly harmless statements may be the most deceptive. The third is the illusion of choice, where you believe you have made a choice, but later discover that every option led to someone else's preference. When someone gives you options, you feel in control, yet they gain from each selection. A barista inquires, "DM or large coffee today, not if you want coffee or a small." Introducing two solutions that are upgrade-friendly encourages spending more. You choose between medium and big, no coffee, reversing the script to portray you as unappreciative rather than them as going too far. Oddly, the user may believe they are the hero and be unaware of the manipulation, but good intentions don't lessen the impact. You still feel under pressure to maintain your independence. Some people make you feel like they completely understand you, but later you can't remember them. They do this by using invisible strings to drag you in their direction. Accepting details. I know how difficult it must be, but they didn't agree that your boss is demanding. They merely acknowledged your feelings. This is the world of ambiguous agreement, nebulous language that gives you the impression that they're on your side without any real commitment. You gripe about your boss. Yes, they agree that this technique is used by politicians everywhere. We all want to know what's best for our families, but this isn't always clear. Your brain assumes that your best salespeople's price seems high, but they nod that getting good value is really important. They didn't say that it was good value, didn't lower the price, just understood your concern. In some way, you feel heard, and you become more open to buying with ambiguous agreement. Your guard goes down, you trust more, and you become more easily influenced, like picking your brain's lock with vague nods. I've heard that this technique is so effective that hypnotists use it to influence people. Your thoughts fill in the blanks, making the suggestion appear intimate. That's all for today. I'll be using ambiguous agreement to subtly control the conversation and build rapport without running the risk of making you feel understood without actually understanding or agreeing to anything concrete. Make sure they're agreeing with specifics or just giving you a vague nod.